I don't know what NASCAR needs to do. I don't know what the solution is.
Yeah,
I'm all
I
for
don't
it.
remember the really the. I mean, I remember they reset the points
It was
like
very
they
similar what
like.
the countdown is for NHRAs.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
that would I think would be better.
I,
But you
I
know what? Mission accomplished. That was a freaking exciting ass race. And I mean, 2 laps to go. We're like, yeah, yeah, okay, restart. And we jumped up and were screaming and punching the air and the whole deal. When Larson.
No, that was no, but if that was Larson that was leading and it brought the caution into anyone, we'd be pissed.
Oh yeah,
So
pissed,
that
upset, disappointed, upset.
I don't think an entire season for an entire championship needs to be decided with
I
one
agree.
race. And they've done their best to reward winning, and they've rewarded winning on a basis of that you're instantly in the postseason, and then basically nothing else matters.
Yeah, but like you
That's
said,
not
you,
the
you
way to
get these
go.
guys that can randomly win Daytona and have zero shot at winning anything else.
I think the only way to fix it, and is it can it be boring? Yeah, but I think this day and age it can be a lot more exciting because everything's so close together. Go back to the old Winston Cup format. And you
See
saw,
now, the Winston Cup, they actually did not reward any for
I,
winning, really.
no,
So
I'm aware of
the
that.
full season where you got, I don't know, a few extra points for winning,
Well,
I think
well, what
is the way to
it's
go.
that format, but you get more points. It's a more point spread from first to second from winning. So you have significant amount more than the second place person. So it wouldn't be like I think you can have maximum like 52 or something. Right now, I don't really know what it is, but then second place it says like 40 something. Make that gap a lot bigger. Make it a 50-point difference or something significant where
Where
that
yeah, where
win
you could actually make up some ground.
exactly. So, and you consistently do that, you build on that championship and you do it the entire year.
Well,
I
let me throw this out. Like a few times throughout the year, NHRA has 1.5 points races per round. Maybe take the crown jewel races, make them extra point paying races. Just
That could be it.
that way. Say you're 200 points behind. You go to Indy, it's double points or whatever, and all of a sudden you have a good run at Indy. Well, shit, we're right. All of a sudden you're right there. I
And
just
let's
just
and
spitballing
let's get rid
because
of
I'm
this.
sure NASCAR's watching our podcast, probably thinking that's a real good idea.
Well, let's get rid of the damn stages. That's you. It need
I got mixed
there need to
feelings on
be
that.
there need to be cautions, but
They need to have random cautions where nobody knows when they're coming out.
yeah, that's fine. Um, and it needs to be decided not by a human. It needs to be a program, and
Yeah,
you don't need a flagman to do it. Everything's digital anymore. Flagman is more of a ceremonial type position right now, anyways. But the flagman will know, hey, 2 laps until caution or something will come into his ear because the program's telling him that or something. Everything's digital anymore, anyways.
yeah,
And then automatically the program says, all right, this lap, caution.
yeah.
And
They can have it be like, all right, we've already had cautions. We don't need to add
there's AI
a
is
random.
AI has
Yeah,
made so
AI
many
could do it
advancements.
pretty easily, I would think.
AI's made a lot of advancements. It would be able to figure out its own program pretty dang quick.
Because I mean the cautions, because you know how it's going to get. It's like we had those stage races, you get every now and then you get those guys that just hit the setup. They're going to be winning by 13, 14
Yeah.
seconds. I mean, it's just
Yeah, and restarts are really critical in
yeah,
these races. But no, I don't think an entire championship needs to be decided by one single race or even the last couple races. That
yeah,
doesn't that shouldn't play a factor into it. I'm all for them celebrating the end of the year like the Outlaws are doing this week. The championship's over, but they still have the World Finals every single year. Start making a tradition where you have the NASCAR finale and make it a huge weekend. You can still have all that just glitz and glamour like you did for the championship race. Just call it the NASCAR finale and just bring
yeah.
people out and
Make it a non-point race or
no, and make it a
almost like
point
an
race.
all-star race.
No,
Or
still make it a point race just in case the championship came down to that. But still, I I'm all for that. I I that's the only way I think you can solve it. I think you integrate a little bit of everything. I don't you don't just reward wins to instantly be racing for a championship. That's
Yeah.
wrong. You have to be based on consistency, one of the faster cars throughout the year. I don't even think there should be a cutoff. I think you just have at it and you better figure it out.
Yeah.
Suck it up because every other racing series does that. Every single one does. World of Outlaws does it. They've done it since the beginning of time. I'm all for the bonus ones. I think that is a nice integration that they could do for crown jewel races, make them even more significant, and shoot even add
But if
extra.
we, if we took the regular season point title now, like I said, Larson wins by 14. I think the top 4 or 5 were within 50 points or something like that. If you
Yeah,
did so I mean that one would have been close. The
yeah.
Xfinity, it was over a month ago.
And NASCAR was thinking they were not having good ratings or whatever it was, and they were under a false illusion that they needed to change it.
It's because they're not on network
grandstands were
TV.
still grandstands were still packed, and you still got to you still would sell it with your media team, make it exciting. I mean, that's what you do. It's a job to make it exciting, and I I, I mean, I think that's what you can do. I keep the damn trophy the same though because that trophy is
That
bad.
trophy's badass.
That's I mean, it's bigger than Larson, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well,
Um, I do like them having the championship banquet right after, like literally that Monday night. I like it being in the same area for whatever city it needs to be. So because the drivers are ready to go on vacation. They're done. They're over this whole entire thing.
yeah,
But you got to host the finale in different cities every couple years. Change it up. Homestead is a great one to have for a couple years. It's a party
yeah.
city. So I'm still all for Vegas being a final race. That's a great city to host
I
events.
mean, Charlotte would be a good place for it.
Charlotte, if they well, they're going back to the Roval next year, and then that's one thing they
I
need to
know.
get their minds out and just figure that stuff out because nobody wants to see the Roval anymore. We're done with the Roval. Um, but there's gonna be a massive change. NASCAR already said it. They don't know what it's gonna be, but I think they're gonna meet with the drivers, crews, owners, and see what the best option is gonna be. Um, they've been talking to Junior. Junior has a lot of good insight to add. So if you integrate a little bit of everything, I think you could make it work and make it pretty exciting. I think
Yeah,
what we just
and it's not going to
integrated.
please everybody. That's where
I'm all for like make the crown jewels feel a lot more important, and then you give
yeah.
more points for that for the win. You get a
NASCAR's got to be like, okay, try something, and if it don't work, just be like, hey,
well
we
they've
tried
done
it,
this
didn't work. We're going to try something else.
well they've done this
It's
for so many years, and you have one of the best drivers, Christopher Bell, who's been so good year in and year out, consistently great, and he falls short. Denny Hamlin, he would have a championship or two under an old format, as good as he's been, and it just comes down to one race. And I mean, literally a blown tire costed a race,
yeah,
that costed a championship. So I mean, I think that's what you can go with. Still, it was still exciting. I'm not going to take that away from the race. It still was really exciting. The battles there was no battle for the lead. Really, Denny had it in the bag, but
yeah.
and let's not take away that Ryan Blaney won that freaking race out of nowhere.
Right. I was
He
going
was
to say,
flying, and that's why I said you do not want a Ford at Phoenix because the Fords were going to win at Phoenix. I was wrong saying I thought a championship driver would win just based on just history, but that's the second time it's happened that a non-championship driver's won that. Um, but that's why you don't want Ford at Phoenix. Now it comes to Homestead, and now you don't want Hendrick or Toyota in the finale.
right. Yeah, you don't want Larson or probably Reddick, and well, you can't count on Hamlin because he can run the wall like
Yeah,
no other.
it just all depends on what the format is next year. I'm excited to see what they're going to do, um, and make it across all the series too, and just try it. And if it doesn't work, go to something else. But give it a couple years. Don't give it just 1 year and be
Yeah,
done. Give it a year, two, maybe 3 years, and give that a shot.